And we are recording. Hello, lovely people, wherever you are. I hope you're well and you're safe and you're finding the strength to rejoice in the little things that are still available to us during these times. I wanted you to know to see the lovely tulips I've been enjoying for a week, almost a week now. Every day I look at them and I smile, and I'm so grateful that they are still holding on after almost a week. But that's not the topic of today's video. So in the last video, I talked to you about my interaction with my mom, one of the interactions with my mom, from the point of view of human design. She has a Splenic Authority, I have an Emotional Authority, we're both projectors. But it doesn't really matter from the point of view of authority what type you are, if you're a generator, a projector, a manifester, because your authority will be determined by whether you have defined certain centers or not. So I'm going to share again the screen so you can see my chart and my mom's chart. Here it is. So what does it mean? Well, how do you know a person has emotional authority? Well, if this triangle here on the right side of the body graph of the chart is defined, then no matter what else you have going on, you will have emotional authority. Now, my mom doesn't have the emotional center defined, doesn't have the sacral one, but she has the spleen. So she has splenic authority in this case. There are many possible configurations, but this is just for you to realize how this goes if you're completely new to human design. Okay, so these two authorities couldn't be more different than like night and day. Because for the emotional authority person, the mantra is, there is no truth in the now. So when I discovered this aspect of my design, it made a lot of sense to me. And even though it's challenging to stop being impulsive and to just go do stuff and act like you have a splenic authority, I found that it's very helpful for me to be mindful and to use my authority as often as possible. So in everyday interactions, this might look like if somebody asks something from me, my default response before human design would be, oh, yes, sure, of course, let's do this if it appeals to me. Or no, if it doesn't. Knowing about this authority now, my default answer is, let me sleep on it. Let me sleep on it, let me feel it, and I will come back to you. Of course, this doesn't apply to like very trivial stuff, like if I want to go to eat, if I'm hungry, or stuff like that. But it's actually useful to play with it, even for the small day-to-day interactions and so-called small unimportant decisions, because this is what trains us to rely on it and to use it when bigger invitations appear, like a new job, a new project, moving somewhere, or stuff like that. So if you want to make an emotional person feel seen, understood, and when you have a conversation about something, just tell them, I know you have emotional authority, so you don't have to give me an answer right away. This happened to me actually, and I'm grateful for this insight to my friend Dunstan. He's the one who initiated the projected fireside gatherings interviews, and we have been working together for a few months in the last year. And when we were having these conversations and discussing about what to do next and stuff like that, when he told me this, okay, I know what I need to do, and because I'm splenic, but you can, of course, please sleep on it and let me know. And then it was this moment that I realized, yes, this is how it feels right for me, and I was so grateful. And then, so you can do this for someone who has an emotional authority. 50% of the population have emotional authority, so there are high chances you or someone you love have emotional authority. So this is how you can, a very simple thing to do to collaborate, communicate in a better way with people with emotional authority. Now, what I've learned about the splenic authority, again, mostly from my interaction with Dunstan, is that for them, it's better to not plan things way ahead. Like if we want to plan an interview, for example, like we did, it's better to just focus at the start of the week or the end of the past week for what we're going to do next week. So a buffer of just a few days works better, from what I understood, for a splenic person to plan things. If you go 2 weeks ahead, 1 month ahead, then it's way too long, because the spleen is exactly the opposite of the emotional authority. The emotional authority is there's no truth in the now, and the spleen, it's just in the now. It's in the now, in the now. And so when I understood that, I started using this approach with the people we were interviewing, and also managing the communication between our projectors and coordinating stuff. And I found that when I told the splenic person, yeah, we don't have to plan here now, just we talk closer to the date, exactly about the right day and time that will work for all of us, they were like, thank you so much. My spleen is happy. So these are just small things, but that have a huge impact on our relationships, and that can improve dramatically the way we communicate with each other, because each person will feel honored and respected and seen in their truth. So we're all happier, and we're all more willing to cooperate and collaborate with each other when we feel seen and understood, and when no one tries to force the other to act like they are. So if a splenic person will just start pressuring an emotional, just come on, decide, tell me now, of course, it will not feel good for the emotional person. Or if the emotional person will just try to make plans 6 months ahead with the splenic person, chances are the splenic person will just probably say yes, but then they will regret it later. And yeah, it's like a dance. When we know these things, we can stop taking things personally and just appreciate our differences and find creative ways to work with them. Yeah, so in the interaction with my mom, once I figured out about this stuff and I told her a bit about human design, I just encouraged her to make decisions in the moment, because she would often tell me she went shopping for clothes or whatever, or cosmetics, and she told me, I got lost, I got overwhelmed, and I stayed in the supermarket for so long because I couldn't decide what I wanted. And then other times she would tell me, oh, I just bought this because I felt it was perfect for me or for her, forever. And every time she took a snap decision, actually, she ended up buying very good stuff. So it's encouraging her to just don't stop thinking and go with her first initial gut reaction, splenic reaction in her case. And yeah, for me, it's the opposite, to allow myself to just take my time. So I'm going to stop sharing, and I hope this video, I don't know how long it got, I hope it didn't get too long, will help you if you are a splenic or an emotional person, or if you know people with these authorities, to have smoother communications and enjoy the interactions, daily interactions, even more than before. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. I'm going to continue drinking my orange banana ginger smoothie, and I'll talk to you next time.